Welcome to Shorthanded. The picks have fallen. Nick, I hate to tell you, your 7-0 streak ended wildly, and Brendan's bombs turned into lethal weapons for those that are out there looking to us for their picks. I love the fact that we are starting to generate some views and some people are kind of liking us. So I appreciate all you out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe as we get into the matchup yesterday. I'm going to start with game one, which was the first game early for me, St. Louis versus Winnipeg. How serious is Winnipeg? Does Winnipeg have a serious problem right now?
They do. I was watching that game in the car on the way to New Jersey, and they started it off pretty well, but then they kind of fell off. It was not a good second period. It wasn't a good third period. Connor Hellebuck is falling in the playoffs, and
They've pulled their goalie. They've pulled his goalie twice now.
Twice in a row. And it's been a reoccurring thing with him in the playoffs, but I thought it would be different this year. I don't know why. I don't know why I expect him to not act like Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. So,
why we gotta hurt that? Why gotta bring Lamar into this? Lamar didn't do it.
Yeah, kind of.
You're not old enough to have Lamar costing you money.
Yeah, but Connor Hellebuck's costing me money. He's oof.
I hate to tell you this, but the President's Cup is just a disaster. It's the weight around the neck
thing.
And then it feels like the anchor of the ship. And I don't know why the team that with the best record loses, besides the fact that they play the team that's been playing in the playoffs for the last month, which is the only reason why I have it. It's like if you win the President's Cup, you should play like the 6th seed or the 5 seed. If you play the 8th seed, it seems that they're coming in with so much energy. And nothing for nothing, St. Louis at home, St. Louis on the road at Winnipeg, let me just do this real fast. They only lost by a goal. And at home, they outscored them. Was it 7-2, 5-1? Those are the last two games?
7-2 and 5-1.
So the goal differential at home for them is 12-3. And so the goal differential in this series then, they lost by a goal in game one and a goal in game two, I believe. So you do the plus minus here, folks. This is a +7 for St. Louis in 4 games. So if you were to sit back and go, wow, this is pretty nuts. I can't believe St. Louis is outplaying them. And nothing for nothing, they have a goaltender who's been to the show and has been proven in the playoffs. And he's showing that because at the end of it all, that first period, I think they had 18, 19 shots.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And he stood up for it. He kept them in the game.
And this just proves how bad Connor Hellebuck is in the playoffs and how much they fell off. And I feel like whenever they're playing, they're just getting completely outplayed by St. Louis in every single aspect. Say they have every game at home. Like, obviously you can say, like, oh, if anybody had every game at home, they'd won. They definitely have the best. They have the most goals at home. They have the. I said when they were moving the puck around in Winnipeg, you saw that Winnipeg was only up because they were at home and they had the fans there. And now when they don't, you can see Connor Hellebuck's getting pulled and everyone's falling apart. They've only scored about like 3 goals there. So I'm very worried for Winnipeg. I didn't see this coming because they were a really good team.
I picked St. Louis, obviously. I'm going to keep reminding everyone of that because I thought I saw something. But not only that, Jim Montgomery's their coach. If you didn't know, he used to coach for the University of Denver, and we'll have to talk
episode.
We'll have to talk about him all the time. I will say this. The quicker speed, the 50-50 pucks, when I was taking notes about this game, it just seems to me like they wear you down. And not only are they wearing Winnipeg down, Winnipeg feels to me like they have to regroup. Again, they go home. I don't like to put a lot of weight onto this. So the 4 games are gone. It's 2-2. Now it's a 3-game series. Winnipeg has 2 at home, 1 in St. Louis. If you're Winnipeg, all you have to tell your team is we just need to hold court for Game 5. I think all the pressure is on Winnipeg for Game 5. Lucky for us, we don't have to pick that game tonight because now we got a great series, right? We got exactly what we wanted. It's a 2-2 series. Now it's 3 games. Anything can happen. But if you're Winnipeg, if you lose Game 5... like, nothing for nothing, everyone's going to bet on St. Louis to end this in 6.
Exactly.
And that's a backdoor sweep against the best team in the country.
Yeah, have you noticed every single Western Conference series is tied up 2-2?
with only one that we'll get to later that we both think should not be tied 2-2.
Exactly.
However, I could argue about the game tonight shouldn't even be tied 2-2 because the Avs have outplayed Dallas consistently in all 4 games, and they have 2 overtime losses. So
it's not what I was expecting from Dallas.
Hockey is a very, very brutal sport. You do not tidal wave teams like the Avs did last game. They are always typically close. But I will tell you, when a team tidal waves another team like St. Louis has done 2 games in a row, you're right to have red flags. You're right to be worried. If I'm the coach of Winnipeg, I don't know what you can draw up, because right now it feels like St. Louis is. But ice is slanted, as they say. It just feels like all of it's going their way.
They were better in that first period yesterday. They were getting the pucks. They were getting the pucks on net. That's what I expected out of them. But then I just don't know what's going on with them, and like whatever happens in the second period and then in the third period, they were holding them down in the first. The Kyle Connor goal was good.
That last goal with 20 seconds to go, the chippy goal, the puck that wavered around. I felt like it broke Winnipeg. They had one.
That was like a kind of like confusing goal.
And the goal again, it's one of those goals like Edmonton had one last night. It just doesn't. It shouldn't go in, and it just does because it bounces off the right person at the right moment,
completely over the net.
And I looked at that goal and I was like, oh, that's a bad goal to let in with like no time left.
And it was a slow shot, too. It was like Cam Fowler was trying to shoot it, went off of the skate. It was just kind of weird. It was wobbly. It was stupid.
Then from there, it just went St. Louis's way. So I picked St. Louis. I don't recall. I believe you picked Winnipeg on that one. Did you not?
Yeah.
Winnipeg, so that was the start of, I was worried that I was like, uh-oh, Nick's going to go have a tough one because you were 7-0, and I rarely beat you. So going to the next game, and again, I will just say this. If you're a Winnipeg fan, you should be worried, but you need to go to the game. Here's the problem with that Game 5 from a crowd's perspective. Now they're not excited. They're anxious. If St. Louis comes out and jumps them and scores 2 goals, the crowd's going to be nervous. They're not going to be excited. So that's a problem. And when you're the favorite team and you start to get rushed like this in hockey, the whole crowd, you're just like, I don't like what I'm seeing. But you can't change it unless you...
And also, I want to mention something. You see, Mike Sullivan is gone from the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I did see the coaching change.
So, as a Penguins fan, my thoughts on that, I'm devastated. I loved him. He was a great coach. He brought us to back-to-back Stanley Cups from an AHL coach, like 400 wins. He showed love for the game. He was great. Now where I think we're going, just get another coach, get the draft picks, what Kyle Dubas has been plotting up. I don't think we're necessarily seeking for like a huge playoff spot next year. And it looks like we're in a rebuild. And I feel like we've been in a rebuild ever since Ron Hextall has came in and ruined the franchise. But yeah, so I'm not looking forward to being a Penguins fan right now.
Well, the good news is you have some good company, like we talked about before the playoffs. There's lots of teams with rich histories that are in the downside of the Eastern Conference, and I think all in all, if you were to say which is the stronger conference, the Western Conference is the stronger conference.
Yeah,
totally because of that.
Easy. You see every series is tied 2-2, and then the other one's like 3-1, 2-1, and.
But the other thing that I look at is that allows the Eastern Conference, if you do it properly, you can come back and boomerang back pretty quickly. If you look at Tampa, I thought was going to be written off into the sun, and they certainly are back. And
a lot of teams can come back.
So
never write them off.
We'll see. Again, if you were the Coyotes or the Utah Hockey Club now, or the Anaheim Ducks, these teams have never made a run. So at least Pittsburgh has a history of that. So going to Game 2, which was Carolina, New Jersey. You were at the game, so I'll let you give me all of the joy, the update, the injuries. There was so much happening in this game.
So we were center ice, right in that suite, not to brag, but you're right there in center ice. You feel the intensity. You feel that New Jersey is not really like a full playoff team, but they have that mentality. The fans are in there. The fans are way better than Islander fans. No offense. They're great. They bring the energy. I loved it. They had a great chance. Okay, but then we go into the first period. Everything's great. Everything's fun. 52 seconds in, Andrei Svechnikov has the weirdest goal. Just like he's skating. Jacob Markstrom looks at him, looks away. The puck's in the net. He spins around. But then after that goal, that we did not let up. The crowd did not let up. But then in that first period, oh my goodness, I think New Jersey had about 0 donut ice time. Carolina was all over the puck. Jacob Slavin sniped that goal. It was a great shot. It was cool seeing it too. But then, just after that, we just did not look good at all. So after going into the second period...
No, hold on for a second. I think you have to give credit to the coaching staff of Carolina. They came out with a great game plan. They executed it. Then now New Jersey has to go in the second period and make adjustments, which I thought they did a good job of, but they did it a little late.
And this shows that, like, when you're an NHL player and then you coach a team, Marty St. Louis, Rod Brindamore, Patrick Waugh, even though Patrick Waugh has not done that great with the Islanders, these NHL players with experience, they're great coaches. I think that's a good thing. So now, going into the second period, Carolina scores right away. But then we bounce back. Bounce back right away, actually. You come in, and then you see that Heishier goal. It was a pretty lucky one how that one got through the middle. Then the crowd started buzzing. We were going great. Now, we were not out of the game. No one was leaving. No one was, devastated. Then Timo Meier, which I needed to score, because I was like, Timo Meier hasn't scored. He finally gets that one that he needed to get him boost, right? So now the whole crowd's going crazy. I could barely hear anything. I couldn't hear my own thoughts. Stadium was going crazy on everything, every hit. But then, when we just kept on doing good, we were getting pucks on the net. Dude, their defense, I don't know what happened. There were so many opportunities that they were just passes to the middle. It just weren't getting there. The passes were not making it through. They were not ready for those opportunities. Then those missed opportunities turned into the third period, and in the third period, the crowd wasn't as hyped, and then that turned into just like a back and forth game. Carolina wasn't even trying to score, so they got it in once. It just went past Markstrom, and they just fell. So now the series is 3-1, which I wish it was 3-2, but now we're going into Carolina in a bad spot.
It was tied. Yeah, the problem that I saw the goalie injury. I tend to agree it shouldn't have been a penalty. I understand the coach fighting for his player.
It was weird
injury, weird play. And then the first goal out of that was New Jersey basically had a goal where it just seemed like the goalie never even saw the puck. And it was just like, this is not good sign. You bring in your goalie and it's like 3-2. And then I felt like the rest of the period, New Jersey was just trying to get shots on goal and Carolina was just trying to prevent shots on goal. They're like, we need to get our goalie warmed up. We do not need an onslaught of shots. So it just seemed like Carolina's played on their heels a little bit more. And then after the second period, to your point, then they just started pouring it on in the third. Carolina's the better team. I think we all saw that. You were just hoping that New Jersey could tie it. You brought the energy. It didn't work out. You started 0-2 yesterday. I started 2-0. Carolina wins. I think I'm going undefeated. And then we have the Washington.
But also, wasn't New Jersey on the back check a lot that game? They were giving up a lot of pucks. Like, there was just a lot of turnovers.
I felt, this is how I feel. You make a lot of turnovers because the other team is creating you or causing you to make these turnovers because of the way they're playing and the speed and where they're positioned. So the other team is worried about making the right passes all the time, and that's why you end up with the turnovers. The better teams cause you into situations you weren't expecting or you weren't hoping for because you're feeling the heat or the pressure, if you will. So I feel like New Jersey is trying to be perfect because Carolina is that much better than them, and it causes you to think, I have to be perfect. That's just part of the game of hockey, and that's a problem. It's a problem for them going into Game 5. We'll talk about that, down 3-1, going back to Carolina. And I think the Eastern Conference, I think that's an easy series for them. Again, the injuries mounted up. We'll see. I think the goaltender injury, but depending on what they say about it, how long it's going to be, that does hurt
affect the series.
Carolina's chances in the future beyond this series. So I agree with you. I just think I've always credited the team they're playing, not the team that's making mistakes. Because if you're moving too fast in your mind because you're worried about how they're playing or the speed, that's why I believe, like going back to Game 1 of Winnipeg, St. Louis is playing so fast, Winnipeg's trying to make the right moves, and by that, they're giving St. Louis a lot more chances because of the speed St. Louis is playing at. So I always give credit to the winning team by causing those kind of turnovers. Now going to probably the most controversial game. And I say that because I think
It was so weird.
we both took losses in this one. Washington plays Montreal in Game 4. They're at home. I thought Montreal would come out ahead. You did as well. I thought Montreal played a very, very good game. I felt there were some... There are moments that Washington just rose to the occasion and Montreal didn't, if that makes sense. And hockey has moments, and those moments are who you excel on. I do like the reaction of the Montreal Canadiens. I like their approach into Game 5. I like the comments. So if I was going to rate who's in a better spot, New Jersey going 3-1 into Carolina or Montreal going 3-1 into Washington, I'd say Montreal is. I like their headset. And to your point about coaches, he's been there. He's done a 3-1. And I also want to make a note about Washington. They're 7-5 in series when they're ahead 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
They're 7-5. They're not 7-0. So this is why, again, for those that like to watch other sports, basketball, baseball, in hockey, a 3-1 lead is not as secure as you think.
Exactly.
And it certainly doesn't feel that way in a couple of these series. I would put my pin on this one. I think you and Todd's pick on Montreal was a pretty solid pick. I still like Washington, but I will say this. Washington does not look like the bigger, badder team.
They don't.
Montreal is playing with them. They're heading with them. I was wrong. I thought it was just going to be like they're going to eat Montreal up. That has not been the case. They've been in each other's faces. It's been a really good series, and this score, I don't think the score really tells the story of this game. This game was a lot closer than that.
Exactly. So we go into the third period. It's 2-1. That goal when they just poked it in, a lot of those were happening in that game for Washington, and those were the only goals that they were getting. It was just pokes around Dobesh. Dobesh was playing great, by the way. He had a great stop on that penalty kill. Great job to him. It's just they were getting pokes around the net. They're just working, right? They didn't give up many goals too. It's like Montreal had the energy. They're in Montreal, and this series is super close. I think it's closer than 3-1, and it could even be 3-1 Montreal because there's been overtimes too, and that play by Ivan Demidov. Oh my goodness, you can see how much like rookies. Juraj Slavkovsky with that goal. The chemistry on the Canadiens is great. The power play, the Caulfield goal, it was great. But then we go into the third period. They're poking those in. And then that Mangiapane goal. It was a great drop pass from Strome. And then he just snipes that one in the back of the net. It was a tough one to take. I feel like it was kind of weird how Montreal didn't win. I just felt like Montreal won, but then they scored and they were up. Montreal only has 2 goals. I feel like they had more goals than they had. As confusing as that is, it was just Montreal putting pucks to the net. They were rising to the occasion like Washington, but I guess Washington, they were just standing there. They took it.
I'll give you an asterisk for this game because Logan Thompson did come back. He did show up. He did play.
And I
thought for sure, I think he was one of the key players of the game. The other thing I want to take note, and I don't know if you've noticed this, I feel like in the playoffs, because of his age, I feel like Ovechkin is not as much of a force to be reckoned with or worried about. Washington does have some good young talent, but I'm not necessarily. I mean, again, he's a house. You can't check him out of anything. But I just don't see. Doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have the stand. I just think it's harder as you get older. This is a hard game, and the playoffs are brutal.
Yeah, and these 2 things I want to talk about. Tom Wilson. You see, they put Tom Wilson Topps cards in the urinals in the Montreal Stadium, which I thought was so funny. I see Pittsburgh totally doing that. We hate him. I hate him. Everyone hates Tom Wilson. That hit was, oh my goodness. He killed a man. I can't believe he didn't die and was not pulled off a stretcher out there. And that was the cause of the goal too. He hit him. He couldn't get off the ice. They didn't have an extra man. So it was just they had the men, and he was just stunned on the ice. And then, so another thing I want to talk about, like my fortune telling mind said, the other podcast we had yesterday said, if Charlie Lindgren played, he would have, Montreal would have won, but if Logan Thompson played, it would have been a different story. We thought Charlie Lindgren was going to play because Logan Thompson could not walk off the ice by himself. He played great, but yeah, then Logan Thompson played. I knew it. When he was out, I was surprised. He got through that injury fast, and then he changed how the look of the game was going to go.
I mean, I'll say this. The pressure's on Washington in Game 5.
Yeah.
And the reason why, just like Winnipeg, I think, feels the pressure, I think Washington should feel the pressure on Game 5 because you don't want to go back to Game 6 in Montreal.
Then, yeah, Montreal's totally winning.
And this is the part of the story that we're going to get to. Once you get to that elimination game, the world changes. Now you're trying to end people's seasons.
Yeah,
and
Montreal is not letting that up.
Hockey players don't just give that away. Hockey players don't just say, oh, it's over. I've seen basketball teams do that. I've not seen hockey teams do that.
Hockey is different. You are on skates. You are in pads. You have a full crowd that's sold out for you. You are not going out at all. Montreal is going to do exactly what Ottawa did in the 3-0 game. They're going to be all out. They're not going to lose a game, and I have the faith in them. They're moving the puck well, just like St. Louis. They're surprising people, and I'm not that worried for them in this Game 5.
I think that's a must-watch. Obviously, we say everything's a must-watch, but that's a must-watch. Going to the last game of the night, Edmonton and the LA Kings. For those
game.
Here's what I want everyone to imagine. If you're an LA Kings fan and you turn off the game after the second period of every game, it's a sweep.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sweep. It's not even close. After the end of every second period, I have the same thought. Where is Edmonton? What's going on? Why can't they figure this out?
Anyone else but Connor McDavid? Are you here?
And then I sit back and I'm like watching that game. And there's one critical moment in this game. And I know a lot of people said the LA Kings played back in the third period. They had a lot of really good chances.
Yeah.
They had a lot of good turnovers on the defensive side. And by the way, Edmonton, you may want to stop giving the puck directly to the Kings players in the offensive zone. The amount of times Edmonton passes, if you gave Edmonton assists in the series, I think they would have a lot more if you give them if they can assist the Kings.
Exactly.
They are doing a lot of setup passes in their own offensive zone, or like defenders can't get it out of their zone. Going to the end of the third period, it's 3-2. I can't believe it's 3-2 because, I mean, you had the Kings hit the post, I think, twice. It was crazy opportunities to put them to bed. It doesn't happen. They're 6-on-5. I don't remember the Kings player who had the puck, but he secured it on his stick. He had no one around him, and he decided to try to skate it out of the zone. I understand what he was doing. He didn't want to ice it, and he didn't have a direct shot to the net. But then the play of the game.
Literally, you have the puck right there.
30 seconds.
All you have to do, get it out.
Loft it.
He tries to deke him out. Blocked. Come on, that's right there.
And then the worst part is, who gets the goal like 15, 20 seconds later?
Boosh.
The same guy who knocked the puck off of his stick, who saved Edmonton's season. Because would you say that if Edmonton loses that game, it's over in Game 5 the way they've been playing?
Oh, absolutely. You're saying LA's losing at home? Not a chance.
So Edmonton goes to overtime, where again they are the aggressor now.
Oh yeah.
I think they had almost 120 shots.
Yeah. So basically, I was looking at the shot count. Sorry, but you see the shot count.
No, you go
at the third period. Yeah, you see the shot count at the second period. Edmonton has about 19. You know how many shots they had in overtime? About 1 million. More than 19. I think it was about 20. Yeah, so one thing I want to get to first, because I'm excited about this. Darcy Kemper. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. The best goaltending playoffs I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen this before. But Darcy Kemper, oh my goodness. Like I said with Jake Ottinger, he was the only star playing. Darcy Kemper was the only one with energy because everyone was getting off and on the ice. They could not change. They were having, Gavrikov, they were having 2-minute shifts. The Oilers were putting on the pressure so much. They're the opposite of the Penguins. Penguins suck in the third period. They're horrible in overtime and shootouts. Edmonton brought the energy, they brought the pressure, but you can't only play in one period. That's not how you're going to win series. You can't only allow this to be one player, right? But then they obviously brought it back, so I don't know if I can say that. The Bouchard goal, it was a great goal.
What a snipe.
The slap shot.
What a
that was sick. Darcy Kemper, you can't help him.
Here's the thing to pile on how great he has been. My biggest thing that I've seen with him is the rebounds. Every goalie can stop the first shot. First off, the majority of kids who are trying goalie can stop the first shot. He stops the second and third and fourth chances against Edmonton, who's putting it all over the place. That last goal, he had basically stopped 2 shots right in front of net. Oh. He's laying there like he doesn't know where the puck is. And then obviously it's an easy open net goal. But I was sitting there going, what else does this goalie have to do?
Yeah, what can he do?
He needs to score in an empty net. That's what I decided. When they pull it and go 6-on-5, you just need to pass it back to Kemper and let him try to score.
Kemper's going to score.
He's got to be the one that ends it. And
exactly.
This is the only series that I physically look at and I say, Edmonton should be gone.
Exactly. It's
2-2, and there's no reason it's 2-2. And the other thing that's crazy is game 1 was 5-3, and they came back, and if they didn't allow a goal in the last 30 seconds, Edmonton could have stole that game.
Exactly. And then 6-2, and then 1-goal game by a challenge. Now, overtime, you're telling me the series shouldn't be over? This is LA series. They're, don't know about my predictions yet for the games, but what I want to say now, the biggest things with goalies, a big thing, let me say this, rebound control. You save one shot off the pad, you need to get that second one, and they were just bringing pucks to the net, even if it wasn't a good shot. Bouchard, Draisaitl, they were all just bringing those pucks to the net, getting it in the zone, which was good, but then they were getting second shots, and they were bringing it out, getting another shot. Kemper did not care. Kemper was getting on there. He showed you what he can do, and he's like, never doubt me again. 20 saves in overtime. It was astonishing to me that they lost that game, because after he made all these saves, I'm like, how is LA going to lose this game and repay Darcy Kemper like this? Honestly, I think, even though the Vezina is based off of the regular season, I feel like Darcy Kemper should win it. He had a .207 save percentage. Connor Hellebuyck cannot perform in the playoffs one single bit. Darcy Kemper is the best goalie. Changed my mind. Darcy Kemper is the best goalie in these playoffs. Without him, man, I don't know. Like, no, they.
So here's a legitimate question. I know you're touting the praise on Kemper, which is all rightfully so. I said at the beginning of this, you pick the Kings. Kings have a legitimate team. They're legitimate. And I said, hey, Kings, you want to beat Edmonton? Show me you can beat Edmonton. So I'm picking Edmonton until you show me you can beat them. And right now, all I can say is you have a 3-game series, and Edmonton has played terribly. Yeah. They have 2 wins, and they haven't played well. The total difference of opinion on the Stars. The Stars have played really good hockey. That's why they're in those games. It's not like the Stars have been up. I feel there are times where Edmonton looks so bad.
Yeah, they've been giving up pucks, turnovers.
If they stop that and they actually play a complete game, like nothing for nothing, the Kings, now you're worried.
And it's not like the Kings have not played good in these third periods. They've been showing up. They've been scoring and putting these pucks on net, like that pipe shot. Oh my goodness. That was like so close. They were getting these chances, but then it just comes down to 1 goal, and it comes down to Bouchard scoring. And that was one of the most interesting overtimes I've watched these playoffs, because I looked at that like Darcy Kemper was putting his life on the line, like it was like they were down 3-0 and they weren't. And that shows you the heart that these goalies have. They will put their life on the line for these shots. And the fact that they just got to an empty net, it's crazy. Anything can happen.
I have another question for you. The Edmonton pulled Skinner. Is that the biggest?
Yeah,
I mean, so Pickard's been in for 2 games. He has 2
but he's
kids.
been great. I think Pickard has been showing up. Not the best goalie of all time, but he's been showing up and made these desperate saves.
Let me tell you, that third period, there's a couple times the Kings came at him and he had to make a save that was incredible.
He had to.
Because they scored the 4th goal, I think it's over. And they never got to number 4. I kept waiting for it because I'm like, oh man, because they're sitting at 3. And I watched the third period. I know they played more defensively, but the LA Kings had a lot of opportunities in that third period. A lot of all you got to do is put it in there. And I remember that one off the post.
To Fiala, I was like, okay, yep. I was saying to myself, shoot it. You get it. Oh, right up the pipe.
And
it was close.
And there was a 2-on-1. They're just Edmonton. They know how to make people's hearts beat. And the other thing, I know we don't talk about. Everyone talks about McDavid a ton. He does moves that when I watch him on repeat, he does the fake back swipe that he totally misses the puck. He gets the player going the wrong way, takes the puck the other way, and he's so quick at creating these opportunities. I think there are times where I'm like, I don't think you needed to do all those moves. You could have just done a normal move and you probably would have scored. He does so many things at one time. You're like, his practice
He's a great skater. He has Sidney Crosby's edge work. And imagine he had a Austin Matthews shot.
He's obviously legitimately. He's got to get a drink of water. It's too great. It's too great for him.
I'm coughing over here. I can't breathe.
So it's crazy when you watch that. So I've been treated to these games. I think all 4 games yesterday were enjoyable. I enjoyed St. Louis. I think Winnipeg's on their nervous meter. I'd say they're probably at a 6 out of 10, maybe a 7 out of 10.
But they can still pull through.
Absolutely they can. It's absolutely, again, none of these series are over. Now we get it.
That's why their depth needs to come through, all of these teams have.
We only have 2 games tonight, folks, for the NHL. So we're getting into Nick's picks and Brendan's bombs. And before we get into Nick's picks and Brendan's bombs, we just want you to know that the LA Kings were not brought to you by Lemieux Insurance Agency because they didn't get the insurance goal. They thought they did when they got the 3rd one, but the 4th goal would have been the insurance goal they needed. And that's brought to you by the Lemieux Agency. Thanks, Dad, as always. Nick, the picks of the day. I'm going to start with the first game that starts not too long from now. Florida Panthers are playing Game 4 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Who do you have in this game? I think I'm pretty convinced on this one, but again, that's why they call them Brendan's bombs. Go ahead, Nick.
So, look at how these teams have played in the past couple of games. We've been saying on how they don't want to go to home down 3-1. They don't want to go away 3-1, right? But now let's look at the way these teams have played in these past couple of games and look at how Tampa Bay has came back from not playing so good in Game 1 and, dude, absolutely getting pucks on the net, getting around Bobrovsky in Game 3. Now, I think they're going to keep the same mentality.
I just want to make a note before Tkachuk did not get suspended for this game, by the way.
Whoa, he did it?
He is not suspended. He's playing.
Did you hear that?
That happened earlier. I think it was last night or early this morning. They said Tkachuk is not going to be suspended. He is a go for Game 4.
So Brandon Hagel's in now, right?
Was he suspended for Game 3?
I think he was suspended for Game 3.
Yeah, so then he's back.
So okay, so
the teams are
back.
Teams are at full strength.
They're at full speed. They're gonna be going this game. Florida, I feel like they want to win this game, but Tampa Bay wants it more. And then they showed you in that last game. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
My heart says Tampa because I picked them, and my head says Tampa for this game because I think they figured it out. And this series shouldn't be a 5-game series because we're owed better from these Florida teams, and this is a great series. So I think 2-2 going back to Tampa is what we deserve as fans. I hope we get that. Does that mean Florida legitimately can't roll Tampa and Tampa can't legitimately roll Florida at any time, at any place? I feel this is not going to be a roll of a game. It's going to be 2-1, 3-2, something of that nature. I feel it's going to be very, very tight.
And also, you saw Nikita Kucherov stepped up in that game, but now I feel like everyone has to step up in that game. I feel like all of their superstars are going to come through. And also, one thing I was gonna mention. Ooh, what was I going to say? What were we talking about?
We're still talking about Tampa and Florida.
Oh,
You're gonna make the point about all the Tampa Bay needs to step up.
yeah, no, I said that. It was, no, I'll come back to it.
So we both have Tampa going into the first game. Again, these are much watched games. Must see watch. Much see, much watch, much all of it, as you can say. The next game, which will be a lot of fun, the Avs and Dallas play game 5. For those that don't know, this is a 2-2 series. Colorado just mashed them. We're back in Dallas. We're going to see Fire Nico shirts. So thank you, Dallas fans, for continuing to show us how much you don't like Nico of the Dallas Mavs. But we're watching the Dallas Stars. What do the Dallas Stars need to do to show you that they can own a game? Because so far it's been a lot of Colorado. And who do you have in this game?
Bro, they need to keep up with them. They cannot keep on getting outskated by a 39-year-old man, Brock Nelson. Obviously, he's not that old. He looks that old. But still, we cannot keep on getting outskated. You have to put the wheels on. You have to get back on defense fast. For me, in this game, like on what they have to do, you have to beat Blackwood. If you cannot beat the goalie, then you're not going to win the game. It's been shown.
Did you see where his stats are in the playoffs right now?
Probably one. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's second and of all goalies right now.
Behind?
I don't remember. I just remember that jumped off the list for me because I was like, if you told me the Colorado goalie, who you said at the very beginning, you're really going to count on him to win you a cup? Well, they are. He's been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the Stars, they got to bring it this game. I'm going to take Dallas, and I want to take Tampa Bay and Dallas because that's what I picked for my Stanley Cup final. I think it's what it's going to be. And, this is what I was going to say. For the Tampa series,
yes,
you've seen this Tampa series. It was kind of locked these first couple games. I feel like it's opened up now more. We're seeing the Battle of Florida, and now we're seeing them actually battle it out more because the Matthew Tkachuk hit happened. The Brandon Hagel hit happened. We're all back. We're all back to full strength. The goalies are ready. They had their games. Now I feel like this series is opening up now. The fans are going to get what they wanted from this.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't know how you're losing in the Florida series. So, who do you have winning Dallas and Avs?
Oh, I want the Stars to win.
I don't know why.
Because Stars are my second favorite team.
It's okay. We'll be praying for you.
If you want to know why the Stars are my second favorite team, when I watch them, it's like something brings to me. It's like they bring a power, and it's like they bring this, but it's the regular season. But then they bring it into the playoffs too, and then they bring it into the conference finals, and it's just something. They give us this energy. They have a bunch of these names, so that's why I like Stars. They're my second favorite team. There might be not, but now I'm gonna take Dallas. I think they're too good in I think they're too good in Dallas.
Do you think they're going to win their third overtime game, or do you think they're going to win in regular time?
Oh, it's totally going into overtime.
So if Dallas wins, this will be, again, they'll only have a lead for a minute in the series. I disagree with you on this one because, again, I just feel the Avs have the momentum, the energy with their captain back and scoring, and he has been so good in the center of the ice. He is disrupted. He's in the right place. He's skating great. Like, again, he's playing at a high level.
Yeah, great to him. He really is great story.
And then Colorado is just they just destroyed them last game.
My instincts are telling me they're going to slow down, though. My instincts are telling me they're just going to slow down.
I feel like the Avs, after the last couple years where they fell short in the playoffs and didn't really perform to their capacity, I feel like they're ready, and I still feel like they're going to still have some really strong games here. So this is a statement game for them. I love their coach. I love how calm he is. I like how they're just like, we're in the process. We're figuring this out. I just feel they're getting more confident as they play Dallas more. So I picked the Avs for tonight.
And now I wish it's kind of hard for me to cheer for Dallas with the thing that's happening with Landeskog and the whole fans as the whole
Such
situation.
a great story.
It's great, and it's hard for me to cheer for Dallas.
You can keep cheering for them. You can be hated on the internet. It's okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll be hated for being a Penguins fan that lives in Long Island, too, which has been for my whole life, and it's been great, you know?
Should we start a GoFundMe for you and all the tears that you need for the tissues?
Exactly.
For all the bullying you get?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I need that. I need that.
So, again, great weekend of hockey. We had 8 games Saturday and Sunday. They were all wonderful. The best part about this week is now we get to Game 5s. The Game 5s are legit. That's where you make or break the other team's backs.
Game 1 through 5.
Colorado wins in Dallas. They're going to feel very good about finishing this at home. Dallas, I feel, is in a must-win situation. Tampa and Florida, I don't feel like we're in a must-win because I feel like any one of these teams can do a backdoor 3 games.
Yeah. On Dallas, I feel like you can look at how the teams have been playing and where you want the series to go and not want to go. This is both. You got to see how Dallas can play better and not bring this into overtime. You want to outskate them. You want to keep up, put these shots on net, get around Blackwood. And you just don't also don't want to bring this game. You don't want to bring them down 3-2 into Colorado because they were that Landeskog goal. I think the stadium roof off.
It was. I agree. I think the most pressure tonight is on Dallas, and that's our late game for the evening. I hope you guys enjoy the hockey. I hope you enjoy our podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. That is Nick's picks and Brendan's bombs for today's games. And as always, we'll be here every day helping you along the hockey playoffs season. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
See ya.